Guys, I recently bought myself one of those new 3080 graphics cards, and what I replaced was my old Nvidia GeForce GTX 1060. But when I replaced my old GPU for my new one, I asked myself if the GTX 1060 is still a GPU with a great price to performance, and if it is still worth a buy today. And in this video, we will get to the bottom of exactly this question. Now, when the GTX 1060 was released in summer 2016, it was one of the graphics cards that were extremely popular. It was labeled as one of the best price performance cards ever and marked a great time for PC enthusiasts. At that time, we saw large advancements in manufacturing processes and huge performance increases in all the GPUs that were released at that moment in time. And while AMD's RX 480 was the market leader in the mid-range price segment back then, the GTX 1060 was Nvidia's answer to it. It was performing well and it was aggressively priced. And as I said, in a very short period of time, it had become one of the most popular graphics cards in 2016. But over the past few years, its price hasn't changed much. And so to answer the question if it's still worth a buy, we have to take a critical look at what performance it provides and compare it to the newer alternatives competing in the same price segment. Back in 2016, the version I personally bought for myself was the Zotac GeForce GTX 1060 Mini. It has 1280 CUDA cores, a boost clock of 1780 MHz out of the box, and 6GB of GDDR5 VRAM. And so with this GPU, I got a nice graphics card that is not only suited for esports titles, but also for AAA titles. That is because while the 6GB of GDDR5 provide a solid foundation for high fidelity rendering, the high clock frequencies ensure high frame rates in FPS titles. And also from my own experience, I can say that I never had any problems playing any games at decent graphic settings. However, the version I got here doesn't have particular low temperatures with around 80 degrees. It's not running as hot as the new 30 series GPUs, but there are definitely some graphics cards in the same price segment that produce lower temperatures. The GTX 1060 requires a 6-pin power connector as its power draw is rated at 120 watts maximum. On the back, this model has 3 display ports 1.4, 1 HDMI port 2.0 and 1 DVI port. Of course, as always, I also put this GPU through a series of game tests to see how it compares to other GPUs when it comes to gaming. The test system for the game test featured a Ryzen 9 3900X on an X570 motherboard and 32GB of 3600 MHz RAM. Now, I did test this particular card at different resolutions and different graphic settings depending on how the card performed at those specific titles. For each game I tested, I also recorded current FPS, average FPS, bottom 1% FPS, CPU load, GPU temperature and RAM usage. Oh, and if you want to see more gaming benchmarks of other hardware parts, be sure to hit that subscribe button as that will come out in the next few months. But now, enjoy the game tests.
We're still here, flipping coins about what's to come. It starts getting cold and we don't know any way out of here. We try to understand how it all started to go wrong, but the sea is way too deep. Yeah, it's deeper than we could ever go, honey. We have to be together here in the stormy weather. So why do we hold on, even if it hurts so? It's breaking us apart. Signs told us how we could reach the other side, and you start to doubt. I don't blame you, 'cause I feel the same. 'Cause a man can only hold on for so long, and we should be proud. All that we can do is hope for miracles or just let it go. But honey, we have to be together here in the stormy we break down, caving in to our doubts, faces filled with sadness. When words are said, we'll regret. I can see the fire that we made just to save us. When we try to make up for never letting go, said the things we promised not to say, then we break up just to start all over, even though we know this is the hard way to better. We can't be heartache together. This is the hard way to better. We can't be heartache together. This is the hard way to better. We can't be heartache together. This is the hard way to better. Let's go back, let's start again, to a place a long time ago when I kissed your lips. I can see the fire that we made just to save us. When we try to make up for never letting go, said the things we promised not to say, then we break up just to start all over, even though we know this is the hard way to better. We can't be heartache together. This is the hard way to better. We can't be heartache together.
So these were all the game tests. I think that the results I got are relatively solid for a GPU that's already 4 years old. But I personally think that the price is currently too high compared to, for example, the GTX 1660 Super or the RX 580. And therefore I would rather prefer buying one of those two GPUs if I wanted to build a mid-range gaming PC. However, I really loved using the 1060 for such a long time, and I still think it was an awesome graphics card for a very long time. As always guys, a huge thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.
We're still here, flipping coins about what's to come. It starts